Hey folks, this is Ben back with you in the Midwest Model Shop. Alright, today we are doing it. We're releasing or announcing the release of our last two little accessory packages that we've been working on. Our 1/200 scale tool and equipment set and our 1/200 scale vehicle and weapon set. This is meant to go along with the 1/200 scale crates and accessories, the miscellaneous equipment stuff that we released earlier on our website, themidwestmodelshop.com. So, this has all been about the USS Enterprise CV6 build that we've been working on. I stopped at where I was at because we needed the airplanes. The TBF Avengers, you guys saw those. Thank you to everyone who's purchased a set. We really do appreciate it. But I needed them for the inside of the ship because I'm going to put them in the hangar bay, and I needed that squadron, I think VF-10 or VT-10, I think. My brain's a little frazzled right now. Anyway, for the inside, and since we have the whole hangar deck opened up and I want to display everything, I realized after our last Enterprise video that I need the stuff on the inside now. Like, we need all these accessories and all these things that I want to put in here. So these last 2 weeks I've been, although you haven't seen any videos, I've been extremely busy working on these designs, test printing them and making adjustments and changes and trying to figure out how to make it all work as best as possible. So links are down in the description down below to both of these sets. Feel free to check out the other things that we have on our site. These aren't meant solely for the USS Enterprise in 1/200 scale. It's anything in 1/200 scale that you think you can use. Our boxes of supply sets, I've had several people who are doing their Titanic builds make purchases of those things for the Titanic, and that makes sense. I didn't even think about that. I was like, oh, you can have all these boxes and crates and everything ready to go for Titanic. And yeah, so that is the idea. So what we're going to do in this video, I'm going to put up some pictures, but I'm just going to show you briefly how to cut apart our little cage here so that you can get access to all the little things on the inside. Most of you are very good with this stuff. Some of you come along are new to dealing with 3D printed resin parts and you have some trouble. I want to make sure that you at least get off on the right foot as far as having access to everything here and painting it. Then we'll explain some of the finer points, and then I'm not going to show you how to take apart and paint everything, but we'll show you some of the things that we can do. Like I said, pictures, links in the description down below. Really do appreciate everyone's patronage and support. And now that this is done, I can go ahead and start painting this stuff up myself and installing it on the Enterprise, which will be our next video, so we can get back to that. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a look briefly here at how to take all this stuff apart. Some examples of painting, and then some examples of maybe how you could display it. You know, use your imagination. That's the idea. And no, I have some stand-up toolboxes. I had a bunch of people tell me, no, Ben, there were never stand-up toolboxes on the hangar bay. There would only be little ones. Well, also I have a bunch of little ones. But then I had other people say, yeah, I want those stand-up toolboxes. And there's varying opinions out there. You all are very helpful and informative, and you all have different opinions on what was where. And so what I've done is just said, well, let's try and provide as much of all of those things as possible so that you can utilize them how you see fit in your build and other builds. That's the idea. So yeah, let's get into it. Thank you. Okay, folks, here we go. These are the two sets we're doing here, the tool and equipment set and then the vehicles and weapons set. So what I want to do is just give you a quick tutorial on a couple of things that are of note. So let's start off with the vehicle and weapon set. For both of these, you should be able to go ahead and go into these corners with your cutters and take them loose, like so. Some of this may be obvious to most of you, I think, but I get people who they don't know. Anyway, if we're careful, on the strong side, you could go ahead and snap that off. On some of these other sides, it's not going to work as well, but you'll get close if you're careful like this, and then you can start to get access to things. You can see from the bottom, I've tried to leave a lot of room, so if you come in with your finer cutters, you could get in here and relieve the contact points, and you could look from the top also and get things out of here. Okay, so let's start off here with this thing. What is this? These are the tow bars. All right, so let's move in a little closer. Because they're V-shaped, and I think this is just one of my demo pieces, I had to stack them so that I could get more than one in here and not lose a bunch of real estate. So let me cut these little bombs out of the way. No, one more. So that you have it like this. This one's a little saggy, but so hopefully you can see here on the back there's a little wheel, right? This is the hitch, and then that would be the wheel that you can run it around on. So starting from the top, a little snip there, come in under the wheel, and then go down to the tow bar above it and snip that away. And we'll go here and here, come around to the other side, and we'll repeat. We'll go right up to the edge here, right under the wheel, and then all we have is the very front piece, and then your tow bar is loose and ready to go. You probably can paint all of these, so then for the next one down, you're going to have to remove the tops. You probably could paint all of this ahead of time with an airbrush and then install it, or if you want to cut it loose like this, you know, whatever your preference is. Alright, and there's the next one. It's got the little nubs on it. You'll just have to get your little clippers in there and carefully snip them off. This is why it's worth having some nice, and these are just Tamiya. These aren't even really super high-end things here, sorry. There's a lot of focus, but anyway, then you get your second one. And they have a little hitch on them, so I might have snapped the wheel off on that one. But anyway, you get the idea, right? This is your tow bars ready to go. So that's how you remove them from this setup. Everything else in here should be fairly easy to get to. Just move slowly and you'll be fine. The bombs, you're probably better off on their little racks here painting them like this, and when you're done you can remove them. So let's start with a little thing in the front here, snip, do the wheels, so do the leading edge of the tow arm, then the wheels, and the last thing you have is this little support in the middle. It's kind of hard to get to, so once the wheels are removed, if you come in underneath here, you can snip off one of the little wheel supports. That makes room to come in from the bottom, right? Cut that loose. Now you have your bomb loose. Hopefully it's painted. Flip it over, get rid of that little support, and then you have your little bomb on its rack ready to go. And this one that I messed up quite a bit looks like that. My little fin on the back's missing, but that's what you'll do to get that loose. Alright, the Jeep's maybe another point of interest, and so same thing. You can take it loose completely and then paint it, but I think it's beneficial to just go ahead and remove the supports along the outside edge and leave the very middle ones in, and you'll have a nice painting platform. You just come back like so and dump little supports out, right? So we'll go like this. Get our corner back here. And all of these supports, unfortunately, I try to put as few as possible. on all of these things. But if they're there, it's because it's necessary, and there was no getting around it. There are different ways to print these things, but what ends up happening is you have you need a larger box. They show up really fragile, or they're just about impossible to remove from the supports. That's the thing a lot of people don't take into consideration. They build a wonderful model in their 3D program, then they throw it in ChichuBox or some other slicer program, and they just orient it so that it's for sure going to print. They put a gazillion supports on it, these, and then it's your problem. Well, you may have made it so it's impossible to get my nice model out of there that you paid for, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Okay, so now there's just those 3 or 4 supports in the middle, and you've got this base that you could hang on to paint it, which I think is the way to go. And then when you're done, just come back in here, right, and snip underneath after your paint job's finished. And that's it. You flip it over, get rid of these guys, and there's your Jeep ready to go, right? And then if you've got your, let's see here, here's our tow bar. Throw that on the hitch on the back right there, you know, and it'll drive away and pull your airplane with it. That's the idea. All right, press on. Okay, the tool and equipment set is basically the exact same thing. I've tried to leave hollow corners to make removal easier. The only exception being back over here where the wheel chocks are at. It's a little bit tight down there, and you'll have to just kind of make a little snip. But otherwise, go ahead and cut all 4 corners just like before, and you'll be set. Just be careful, you know, with your initial thing, peeling these off. This is all going to kind of come apart as one big thing, so then I would just go ahead and relieve it where it makes sense. Just get all these things kind of into the individual parts, and you'll be good. So there's our wheel chocks. We've got one of our couple of toolboxes and one of our stands. So let's start over here on our fences. We'll cut like that. All right, let's talk about what's going on right here. These are the 2 handheld toolboxes. Pretty self-explanatory. I would just probably paint them navy gray. And if you want to do like a green or something, you can, and then set them on the ground. What is this? This is one of our small reels, hose reels, that is meant to go on the wall of the ship on the inside. And so I've got a little hose that comes down there, and then I've got this funny thing on the back. So let's see if I can do this here. What we'll do is I'll make a little snip here. Whoop, bent the hose a little bit. That's the nozzle hanging down, or that's the idea. Get rid of this clip, okay? And then you're left with this. So what I would do, you know, I might paint one of these reels, a couple of these reels red, and then the black hose implying a fire hose, and then the rest may be gray. This flat piece on the back, this part, this is meant to be a glue surface to stick up against the wall. So paint the face of this white or gray, whatever your wall color is. It's simply meant to give you a big surface to glue to, and then this bottom edge is the floor. So you can, that's the idea. I'm trying to make this easy. You can grab a pair of tweezers, put your CA glue on the back, stick it up against the wall, and it's there, it's in place. They're all at the same height and easily installed. If you don't like that, you can go ahead and cut off this little back piece, and then you'll just have a loose reel. Just try and pay attention to that little drip there. That's the idea, is that's the nozzle to the end of the hose hanging off right there. And then you can stick it on the wall of your ship that way. I hope that makes sense. So when you're done, you know, painting it and prepping it and you're ready to install, cut it off here. And then if this was the wall, this flat surface would glue right up against it, and then this bottom edge should be on the floor of the ship. And that way, hopefully this is not too noticeable. That's my idea. Like I said, if you don't like it, just cut this off and glue this thing right onto the wall wherever you'd like. And there's two sizes. This is a small one, and then there's a much larger one. Alright, I'm also pretty stoked about these little floor jacks. So when you flip them over, this is even hard to show you on a macro lens. There is a little wheel under the front of the floor jack to imply that's in like the jacked up position. So don't cut that off. There you go. See the little wheels? And then the rest of these can be cut flush. Get them out of the way. And then one gets cut flush. And I had to leave a center one in there. Otherwise it wasn't going to work out right. Alright, and then you've got your little wheels on the back here. Pivot. And then there's just this last one. Sorry. Alright, there's that last one right there. There we go. And you've got your little pallet jack and handle ready to go. And then if you've bought our other set with the boxes and everything that come with the pallets, you know, you can put this by them, or even put a pallet, slide a pallet in there if you want to. It'll all work out. So you get, I think I made 4 of those. 5. You get 5 of those in this pack as well. Pretty cool. Alright, I think the last thing I was going to mention here are the welding carts, and I forgot to hit record, but they just have the 2 little supports under the wheels, so just be very careful. This is a welding cart. It could be an oxyacetylene cutting torch cart, whatever you deem necessary, but it's got a big flat bottom, and they should stand up on their own just like that, or you can go ahead and obviously put a little dollop of CA glue on the bottom of the cart as well, and you know, install it, and you're set and ready to go. So everything else is like fire extinguishers, the regular oxyacetylene tanks or O2 tanks, and then we have the toolboxes. I had some people ask about the upright toolboxes. So this is with the drawers closed, the lid open. These two, you get 4 of them. The lid's open, a couple of the random drawers are open. I've had people say, no, there weren't stand-up toolboxes on the Flightline. Then I had other people say, yeah, put the stand-up toolboxes there. I've seen pictures of boxes that look like they might be stand-up toolboxes. I've seen photographs of other things, I'm not really sure. So they're included. And you could just use this on any 1/200 scale thing that you want. Where'd my fire extinguishers go? Oh, my fire extinguishers are in the middle here. These guys, so you could go ahead and paint them red, do up the little details. These tanks can be used for whatever you want. If you paint them an appropriate color, that's what's in them. There's a little Navy handbook. The Navy Seaman book, I think, tells you what color those are, so you can identify them. So, yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and just paint up a handful of these things, so you could get a good look at them. and we'll call it a day. If you have any other questions or comments, please feel free to check out down below, and we'll put the link in the description. But yeah, let's take a look at some of these things painted up. Alright, we've done some painting. I got out our TBF Avengers from our previous product line. You can buy those on the MidwestModelShop.com as well. The color is subject to change. I made the tow bar yellow so it was easier to see. I painted the chocks yellow on the left. On the right, I went ahead and painted them brown. Threw a ladder up there. I went with gray for the Jeep, even though you could argue that it could be green or blue or some other color. But this is the idea, right? And we've got our little bomb in the background there with our engine and everything. Just stuff. And then I went ahead and threw some paint on some of our other things that we've got back here, just so you can get an idea of what these are, the toolboxes and the folded ladders, and your fire extinguisher, and our little pallet jack, that all just from these different sets. So yeah, everything's kind of here. And then our tanks for inside. We just got a little bit of everything. And this thing's, I got my white painted here. This is the idea here is this is the fire extinguisher hose. You put this inside your ship on the Enterprise up against the bulkhead wall, and then that white piece that you're seeing right there is just supposed to kind of be a wall, right? So it gives you your height above the floor, and then a gluing surface to stick it to the wall. That's the idea, is that it's a little bit more practical. So yeah, that's it. I didn't paint everything up, but I wanted to give you guys an idea of what could be done with all this stuff. And it just occurred to me, I'm like, this is crazy. Everything here in front of you in this shot right here, we made here at the Midwest Model Shop. You can't buy it anywhere else. This is all came from our 3D printers, which is great. Except the exception being the decals on these. Those came from the Trumpeter kits. So anyway, links in the description down below, or just go to www.themidwestmodelshop.com and take a look at things, see what you think. So now that this is done, we can press on with the Enterprise. Alright folks, thanks for watching, and thanks for everyone who goes to our shop and buys something. We really do appreciate it. Pressing on.